y'all, welcome to the campfire. Thanks for joining us out here in Splendora, Texas. I'm here with a bunch of awesome students. What's your name?
Kristen.
I know y'all's names, by the way. But so Kristen, what's your name, ma'am?
Kayla.
Kayla's here.
Destiny.
Destiny's here.
And Michael.
And Michael. Hey, I wanted to talk to you now. I know we already said this, but I want to talk about the clown thing. So we talked a little bit before, and it's all you basically said it's social media nonsense. Was there ever like a time that like some clowns really killed somebody?
I don't think so.
Has there been one time in like the history of the?
I'm not very educated about
Europe. It was something about it in Europe.
And it actually, like, there really was like somebody who dressed up as a clown in Europe, and
Yeah, it was over there in Europe though.
I'm amazed
It was never done in America.
that people think that these videos look real. I mean, I don't know if they think they look real or they just think it's funny or like I told everybody in class, I said don't dress up like a clown and think it's cute and go try to scare anybody, and then also don't shoot any clowns that are people that are dressed up because they're people who are very ill-informed, thinking it's cute and funny, and they're gonna, and people. A guy got shot. A guy in North Carolina, it was a clown got shot. A real clown got shot. Anyway, the thing is like, so this clown hysteria, it's going on for 2016. Whenever I was little, it was Satan worshipers was the thing that everybody was afraid of, and they, you didn't send your kids outside because the Satan worshipers were out there in the woods and going to get them. Now it's clowns that are coming to get them. Is the world getting to be a better place or a worse place?
Oh, it's getting terrible.
That's awful.
Why?
Because people are stupid and uneducated about everything. They think that they can get all of their information off of social media, and they believe that social media runs everything.
I think social media is a good, I want to talk about social media. What else? So you said people are less informed. People are less intelligent.
They're stupid.
I want to get your opinions because I want to like not contradict them, but I want to like question them basically. So what else? Why else is the world getting to be a worse place?
I don't know. People are like a lot ruder now. Like they don't consider other people as much.
Yeah, they don't care. People don't care.
I think they're brainwashed by the internet.
Yeah.
What in the internet is brainwashing them? What are they looking to on the internet?
Facebook, Twitter.
I think that
Wow, social media is like okay.
I think that as we're progressing, that some things are getting more socially acceptable when they shouldn't be.
What can you give an example? What's more socially acceptable that shouldn't be socially acceptable now?
Like cussing and stuff like
Oh,
that. Like,
okay.
I think that like people think that that's cool and that's okay now because, they see it on social media. They see it on, our presidents. Trump.
Oh yeah, well sure.
So,
Profane language and yeah, I got you.
and that's not okay. It's not ladylike.
It's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. It's not okay, and people shouldn't do it.
Okay, I can definitely relate to that. I can understand that. Listening to people go walking up down the hallways, I can definitely understand that. Yeah, the thing is I really wanted to ask because you all said that I emphatically said no, things are getting worse, and I keep hearing that, but I always think that this is the best time ever to be alive. That things are better now than they've ever been. I really believe that. Hello. How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for stopping by. All right, I'll get these to them in a sec. To you guys over there. No, but okay. So I really wanted to understand. So I understand it's because of social media, but
All of it's because of social media.
But things have. Well, it seems like social media is the biggest thing. I think everything has gotten better. Everything in the history of my lifetime has gotten better. And just if you were a person of color, then the world is just a better place. People can't lynch you in public anymore. We can't publicly kill people.
I think in some ways, I think that, like in that way, it's getting better. But in other ways,
Yeah, there's like two point of views of it. Like
Well, sure. I mean,
there's
I
like
mean, how many shootings have we had this year?
but how many do you think? So
Shootings
here's.
are constant. If you ever pay attention,
Yeah,
the
like
Well, that's what I was gonna
and
say.
that's
That's-
why they're
blacks
getting
and whites
more
are getting
and
shot,
more
but the
and
blacks
more.
are getting publicized.
That's the idea I want to introduce to you. Is
Let's
the
not
problem?
talk Black Lives Matter. I
The
would
problem
shut you
is not.
down.
Well, we can talk about Black Lives Matter. That's fine. But the problem to me is that and I think Ray Kurzweil is one of the people who said it, filter failure, that we now, because of social media and the internet, have access to so much more information that we see only the bad things. And we see so many more bad things than we ever used to see. It's the things that we are shown now are the worst of everything that's happening in the world. And 20 years ago, we couldn't see those things. We didn't know about all those things that were happening all the time. So we just have instant access to all of the horrible things that are going on. We see them immediately. And we didn't see those things before. So it's like putting a magnifying glass on all the worst stuff, and just that's all really we get to see anymore. Because media and news is fueled by advertising and money, so they want people to watch, or they want people to click, or they want people to do stuff. And so they're going to show the most dramatic or the worst possible thing, because that's what people will watch. So that's the idea. The idea is that we're not we're not choosing the information that we want to see. There's more. I think there are more good things happening every day than ever before. Like just people doing wonderful things, but you're not going to see that on the news, because who's going to tune in to watch that? And if you hear about crazy clowns taking over and possibly killing all of our kids in the woods somewhere, people are going to watch that because they're scared. But so I think people are more scared than ever before because of the stuff that we see. But I think that everything in the world is better. That medicine's better. People live longer.
Yeah.
People are much less racist. But gay people can get married now when they couldn't get married 10 years ago. So in my lifetime, I think the world has gotten to be sort of an amazing place. When I was young, well, I forgot. I mean, Barack Obama is the guy's name. The guy has like an Arab-sounding name, and he's our president, and he's half black, a Hawaiian guy. Like, it's incredible. I'd never imagined that would happen in my lifetime when I was young, when I was your age. Never, ever thought that there would be a black president, or half black president. And I'm continually amazed by the good things.
Do you think we're going to have a woman president?
I absolutely do.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you think that.
Pretty sure
Well,
Hillary for president.
we can't really. I mean, obviously, we can't talk about that. I can't express my views about it. But I think if you know
Everybody
me,
else does.
if you know me, you probably have a really good idea like how I feel about social justice and like treating people and
Morals.
yeah. I mean, okay, well it does sound like I'm hating, I guess, but
We are.
I probably am. I probably cannot hide that, and that's something that I really need to work on. Being a teacher and being around, I shouldn't be able to influence or try to influence. I definitely shouldn't
Yeah.
try to influence people. I think
No,
I
you're
think
just saying
kids
your
for the most
opinion.
part believe what their parents believe for the longest
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
until
your parents.
until you maybe go to college even, and then you see the world and you meet people from everywhere else. But I'm talking a lot, so that's just the thing that I wanted to. I brought up clowns because. It's not a thing. I mean, it's just to scare people.
It is a thing.
It's a thing,
But it's
but
not a good
because
thing.
of
It's gonna drop off the face of the earth like Ebola did.
It's just a trend.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
you said that like on the news they only put like bad stuff? Well, I feel like the only good stuff they put on there is like that little kid that just died that got shot at the playground. He had a funeral and like all the people dressed up as superheroes and stuff, and like that wouldn't have been on the news if it hadn't been for like the shooting. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I feel like all the positive stuff
Turns
on the
negative.
news is like
in a reaction to
in a
negative
reaction
things
to
that have
the,
happened.
like I just feel like it's all negative for the most part.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. What are your thoughts? I mean, I just kind of threw that out there at you. Like, y'all all said for sure the world is getting worse and worse, and
Well,
I said
I don't
no. I said you're wrong. What do you think? I mean, argue with me?
I mean, I think the medicine and the racism and stuff like that is like better, and the fact that like, you know, just everything like that's better. But then like people on social media, they have like the advantage over everyone because if you post absolutely anything, it's like a lot of people can just like type in keywords and just find out what you posted or what you like or like and just I don't know. I feel like they use that against people.
I don't think the world's an amazing place. I wouldn't label it as an amazing place. I think that, yeah, like segregation, it's gotten better. I don't think it's near where it should be.
I definitely agree with that.
I think that it's a great place, but it's not an amazing place. It still has a lot before we can label it as an amazing place. One of those being Trump not winning the election. That's
Well-
none of my business.
Well, do you think? I mean, if Donald Trump could become president, he could win.
I'd leave.
He could very easily win. Well, people have said that every time that the person they don't like
I
has
think
become
that our
could become
country-
president.
I think our country needs somebody who has morals, who knows right from wrong, knows when to shut up.
Who doesn't openly sexualize your daughter in front of America?
And yes, Hillary is not, she's not,
She's not the person for the
she's
job.
not either, but I mean, it's kind of like picking the better of two evils. here.
Why should you have to pick the better of two evils? Why can't you pick somebody that's great to be president? Why can't you vote for somebody that you would want to be president?
I wish we could have.
Why can't you?
Nobody
Because
else.
Ted Cruz is out of the election.
You could vote for Ted Cruz if you wanted to vote for Ted Cruz. You can vote for whoever you want. There are third party candidates. There are
But
the Green Party candidate,
odds
Gary Johnson,
are-
and there's
Odds are it's
he's the
not-
Libertarian, and then
It's gonna come down to
right.
Hillary or Trump.
But so, again, that's always been an issue that we've had, that we have a two-party system for president, and we always have wanted to be able to vote for other people. Why? When is that going to happen? We could, Bernie Sanders ran this year, and
And I think that
As a Democrat.
partially the reason why other candidates didn't get the opportunity was because it wasn't put out by the media as much. The debates, they weren't asked very many questions. It was focused on Trump and Hillary. I think that it's the media's fault for this election. But I wanna sip my tea.
I second that right now.
yeah. Well, I just finished up my coffee. I'm like, no. So it's really, I really get that the media is very pervasive in the world. Like, they really control what we see and what we hear about everything, and that affects people's views for the most part. What do you think about that? Where do you get your information from in the media? What media do y'all watch?
Well,
Do
I
you
mean,
get?
I listen to CNN a lot.
Mhm.
I watch the news. I watch the debates. And
You're definitely on social media.
yes, I'm on social media, but you have to understand that most of the time what you see on social media isn't facts. You need to look into it before you start, going into a political conversation. I like to call it a conversation because I don't like arguments. But I think that if two people are going to sit down and talk about it, let's talk, let's not argue. You need to...
That's one of the general rules is that you don't talk about. Those are things that if you disagree with people, you don't want to end up in conversations about like religion and politics.
Me and some other people, I don't want to name names, but we have great talks, and he's for Trump and I'm for Hillary.
And you can have good conversations.
Yeah, we have good
I still have a
conversations.
hard time with that.
But because it's not, you're not going to be able to change.
And you seem really hard-headed too. I mean, honestly, that's not an insult, but I'm the same way. I can't have those conversations with people who are completely disagree with me. Because
Well, I'm going to tell you how I feel, and
it's
if you
tough
don't
for me.
like it, I mean, odds are the people that live here, I'm not going to label.
No, okay, go ahead.
They have their mindset and partially from their parents. That's where some of my influence comes from, is my parents, because
Sure, I think all of us
I
probably.
listen, and I observe, and I know some stuff for myself. It's not all my parents, and I think some of the people that I talk to, they don't know, they don't listen, they don't observe, they just hear what their parents say and think that it's true. Whenever sometimes their parents may not even know what they're talking about. I think that before you start, you need to be educated about it. I think that's what's wrong with our society, is that some people aren't educated, and they think that they know, and they don't. They think that they know because they read an article on Facebook, and half the time it's not true. So I don't know.
I love that. I want to hear. Thank you.
That's faith-based therapy.
No, well, because again, my response would be just to play devil's advocate. I guess would be that more people are more educated than they've ever been before. Again, too, and have a higher level of education than they ever have before. If you look back whenever Lincoln was president and the people were when people voted for him to be president, most of the people couldn't read and write well back then. They were just getting their news from a different media. It's the media is the message, I guess. Marshall McLuhan said that. You'll probably read that later.
I completely agree that the world has progressed and we've gotten, smarter, I guess. But I think that now with social media, people believe everything that they see and everything that they hear, and they don't look into facts. They think that social media runs everything.
What you think, Michael? Huh? I'm sorry. What are your opinions on this? Do you think that we're turning into idiocracy? That now there are people who are just
There's a higher population
drinking the Kool-Aid?
of uneducated humans.
I never know how you feel about things. Kayla is very.
I'm very vocal about my
Well, yeah.
feelings.
So I really don't know how you feel about things. I bring all of this up because we just did the Rachel's Challenge thing yesterday, and it's really, and had to explain it to my class whenever we had to go over it a couple weeks ago and talk about it during sixth period.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what to say about it because I hadn't been a part of it. So I said basically it's just do good. Let's work together to be good people, and let's hold ourselves accountable to being good people.
Well, I think that's the first step is holding yourself accountable, being responsible, and checking yourself.
Yeah.
In this, I think that you need to check yourself before you start checking others.
So what do you think about the whole Rachel's Challenge thing? Do we need it here, and what do we?
I don't know. I wasn't even here for that.
Oh. Well, what do you think are our issues? You were mentioned the racism and the systemic racism and generational poverty that we have here in our town. That there is a lot of real poverty. There are people who don't have running water or doors on their houses and stuff like that. They live out in the woods. You don't really see. It's not like they're on the side of the road. You don't see them. But and there's a lot of systemic racism that's been built in. We had the Klan here for years and years, and there are still a lot of people who are incredibly racist. And I think that it's getting much, much better again. I always think that, and sometimes I'm really negative. I'm really depressed, and I just think that the world is a horrible place. And this is let's all elect the giant meteor 2016, that kind of thing. But I try to think about how things, from what I've seen, my perspective, how they've gotten better. But we have our problems here.
Oh, definitely.
We have a lot of problems here.
There's a lot of problems.
And there's a lot of people, again, who are uneducated.
Honestly, before
And
social
need
media
to
even
be
became a thing,
educated before they
the
start.
world was great.
The world was great before social media became a thing.
I think that social media is a great thing. I think it's...
Did you believe that? The world was great before social media?
Yes.
Ignorance is bliss. Do you think that
Yeah.
people are just happier not knowing what's going on? I think that could be very well true. That not knowing about the bad things in the world, you just don't.
I think that
But
social
they believe
media can
everything.
be a great thing.
Like Kayla said, you post something on social media, everybody believes it.
Yeah.
And everybody
I could
thinks
say
it's
I'm
true.
pregnant or I'm gay on and they.
And everybody would believe it because that's how social media is. Now, if it is used for the right purposes, I think it could be a great thing, like Rachel's Challenge. I think that if that's put out there enough and people understand it and are willing to try, I think it can be a great thing.
Well, that's what friends of mine always say. There's a lot of bad things about our town. The mostly the systemic racism to me is the problem. But social media is great because it's your choice. You can choose to flood the internets, the interwebs, the intertubes with the positive stuff, and that just overwhelms the negative things. But it's people's choices, and so that's kind of what the whole Rachel's Challenge idea, I think, was that sure there are always going to be bullies and bad things going on or whatever, but if we spread love as much as possible, that it kind of wins. It's a battle of what you're sending out there, what you're giving out to the world. Are you giving out positivity or are you giving out negativity? And whatever you choose to give more of is what you'll choose to get back and just make things better. Is that true? I mean,
I don't want to talk
how do
all
we
the
know?
time.
You don't want to talk anymore?
No, I don't want to talk the whole time. I want to give other people.
I know, that's why I'm trying to get, Kristen hadn't said anything in a while. Destiny's back there being quiet too.
And Michelle hasn't said much
Michelle.
other than like Kayla said.
Like Kayla said.
No, he did actually. That was really good.
Yeah.
But this is, I don't know. I don't think that the media is to blame for everything, because I think we have a lot of different media now. So I think you're right in the sense that you watch CNN, which is generally like a liberal leaning. It leans to the side of the things that you believe in. If you watch Fox News, you're going to get angry and want to throw stuff at the TV.
Exactly.
But people who believe Fox News watch that, and then they watch CNN, and they want to throw stuff at the TV when they watch CNN. We've got a lot more diverse media, a lot more avenues of things that if you are an absolute white power racist, then you can get your news from the White Power magazine or whatever, and you can believe all the things that they say. And I mean, there are those things. There are all those different media now. So it's about education, but is that what we teach in school? I mean, we don't teach those things, do we? Oh, young Dill's here.
What up, Campfire? How y'all?
Just the walk on. Just the walk on. Just come over.
Just the walk on.
Well,
Always the
any
walk
thoughts
on.
about all this? What we've been talking about? Everything. I guess life. We've been talking about everything.
Everything?
Yeah, clowns.
Things get
It started out with being clowns.
I mean, hey, I'm trying to figure out what clown I'm going to vote for, so.
Pulled that right back from the clowns. Okay, cool.
Snaps for Dylan.
All right.
No, I saw a video on YouTube. The guy was talking about clowns. He's like, why would you bring a clown to Texas? And he was like, he said, I got a solution for the big clowns. And he like pulled out like a shotgun bullet. And he's like, I got one for the little clowns. It's like a 22 bullet. And he's like, this is for the baby clowns. He's like, you do not want to come to my house. He's like, you do not want to come to Texas with a clown suit on right now. He said it will not be good for you.
That's what I said earlier. Is that the people who are dressing up as clowns don't dress up as clowns thinking it's going to be cute, and then also don't shoot the clowns because they're just ignorant people thinking that they're cute and
Note
funny.
to y'all, do not dress up as a clown for Halloween.
Right on. Do not. In fact, there are places where they're
Banning
clan
clown
outfits.
suits.
Yeah, for Halloween. It's a scary time we live in, right?
But it's funny because
We should all be scared of clowns, right?
The more October goes through, like the more clowns we're gonna be seeing. But then, like whenever October's over, we won't see any clowns.
No more clowns again.
I don't
The clowns will have all vanished.
Yeah, it's just a clown phenomenon.
It's a clown
See you later.
phenomenon. Well put. All right. Well,
Well, it was a good talk.
yeah. Anything to and he flipped the bottle flip. That'll be over, and let's hope that's over in November too. No more bottle flipping.
Well, I have
Anything-
nothing else to say other than Hillary Clinton for president.
Stay warm, stay woke. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us. See y'all later.